Okay. Now we are moving ahead with our second panel discussion. It's about the challenges and opportunities of crop protection in the era of sustainability and regulation. For that, we will talk about balancing food security, environmental safety through responsible agri-medicine use, regulatory shift in India's global market restriction and approvals, integrated pest management, communication strategies for adoption. And for that, into this session, our moderator will be Dr. Kalyan Goswami, Director General Agro-Chem, Federation of India. Can we have a big round of applause, everyone? Thank you very much. Next, I would like to invite our panelist, Mr. Debabatra Sarkar, CMD Microalgae Solution India Limited. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to invite Dr. J.C. Majumdar, Chief Scientific Advisor, CCFI. Dr. Abhijit A. Pujari ji, Director, Swafe Bioworks Private Limited and Director, Apilogic India Private Limited. Mr. Tanmay Seth ji, CEO, Director, Aqua Agri Processing Private Limited. Mr. Vivek Mittal, Director of Thakkar Chemical Limited. And Mr. Amit Kumar Singh, Senior VP, Strategic Marketing and Alliance, Bharat Cetis Agri-Science Limited. Now I request Dr. Kalyan Goswami, it's over to you.
Firstly, sir, pranam, RBS sir. He was my teacher. So, namaskar sir. You might have seen, few days back, Government of India, they have published the Q2 GDP report. You might have seen, right? The growth is fantastic, 8.7% nominal growth. But in agriculture, the nominal growth is only 3.5%. That's alarming really. Why it is alarming? Every year the GDP growth remains 4, 4.5, 4.6 like that. But why this time we are saying that it's alarming? We are talking about Q2 when the WPI was negative and inflation was minimum. At that situation, showing a growth 3.5%, and then you might have seen in the Kharif, the acreage was higher. Sir, it was 6.8 lakhs hectare more in Kharif. Acreage was higher. Inflation was almost 0 or minus. Y2 I am talking about, year to year. And then it is coming 3.5% is really alarming. So something is going on somewhere. Maybe the productivity has come down. We are not able to assess. Let us accept it. Let us accept it. What is happening? You all know about Green Revolution. Then we got food security, and then we started talking about nowadays nutritional security and safe food. Like RVS sir just told about spurious. I'll come to that, sir. I'm the right person to answer on that as well. I was sitting in the crowd, so I didn't raise my hand. But I will answer to that. It's really, it's a matter of concern. So, nowadays we attain food security, and now we are talking about nutritional security, we are talking about safe food, and we are talking about sustainable agriculture also. We have to accept one thing. Although we are using less amount of agrochemicals or fertilizers with respect to vis-a-vis, like US, France, China, blah, blah. It all come in the, come in the book. But it's true, let us accept, to achieve food security after the independence, that was the main agenda in front of the government, right? So we have achieved it. But we have really spoiled the soil also. Let us accept it. So, how to club organic, natural farming and the chemical farming? We need to club these three together. We cannot survive with organic only. We cannot survive with natural. We cannot suddenly remove the fertilizer and chemical and other things. We need to find a, a point, fine line कि chemical will continue, organic भी आ जाएगा, like natural farming भी होंगे. Otherwise, our condition will be like whatever we have seen in Sri Lanka, right? We don't want that type of a situation. So, keeping at the background, it's very tricky work, maintaining the productivity. The GDP is showing nominal GDP only 3.5% growth, right? So that the productivity doesn't get hit. At the same time, we have got responsibility. The industry has got responsibility for sustaining the agriculture. Another issue. The land holding is coming down day by day. Urbanization happening. I come from a village. I come from a typical village. From railway station, my house is 65 kilometers. So I have to go to the village. I see 30, 40 years back, when we used to go, we used to take a train which was reaching in the daytime. Sham ko jana hi nahi hai, because I come from Jalpaiguri. He is also from there only, he knows. From the same place we belong. So we are very much afraid of elephant and tiger and all these things. But nowadays, no tiger, no elephant. Koi dar nahi hai. All the building has come up. So all the agricultural land is gone. All the jungle is gone, right? That also you have to keep at the background, right? The land holding is coming down. Return on investment is coming down. Farmers are not getting, like profit out of their crop. So now let me go one by one. I'll come to algae. That's very close to my heart. But you will be the last man. I'll come to you. So let me start with I have written down some points. I'll come to Majumdar Sahab. He is a scientist, and we learn a lot from him. He is from my segment only. When Majumdar Sahab talks, even the JS and additional secretary, they listen to him. He will always try to take out some loophole somewhere. So people are scared of him. So anyway, no, you are. We need people like you. So my question will be to you on the IPM. Nowadays we are talking about integrated, like pest management. So government has come out with the model, and they have created a website. The trial is going on, and you are a part of that also in that of the team, right? So how to implement that? As because coming out with a model or coming out with an app or coming out with a website, and to implement it, right, is not saying. It's going to be really tricky. And second thing, how much time do you think, I'll come to you also, Amit also, how much time you think the country is going to adopt the IPM really? Majumdar sir.
Thank you very much, and a very good morning or very good day to all the delegates. Before I go to this IPM, may I have your permission to react to this GDP part, which I am totally perplexed, because we know that in Q2, overall GDP growth has been 8.2%, whereas in agriculture, our production has increased by 8 million tons, which is a record. Normally, we never produce more than 2% growth in agriculture. This time it has been more than 2%, 8 million tons in last year production of food. So how this GDP is 3.2, I do not know. On the other hand, we have been hearing, at least I have been a little puzzled on this also, that starting from minister and many experts, we've been trying to increase the agriculture GDP. Now, today it is anything between 14 and 17%. I do not know which is the correct figure. It is quoted from 14, anything between 14 and 17%. If you see the advanced countries, there the GDP of agriculture is hardly 2%. 2%, 1%, 3%. So that means our process of industrialization and other reforms have been much poorer, and that's why agriculture. So I am not able to understand why we want to increase the GDP share of agriculture to the total GDP. That is, I wanted to make the comment. Then coming to IPM, I think it's a very old concept. I think it's more than 4 decades old, IPM. The basic idea from the beginning has been to reduce the application of chemical pesticides. because only chemical pesticides had a lot of problems apart from environmental pollution, residues, and even resistance. Many other problems are there. So from the very beginning, the quest has been to reduce the amount of chemical pesticide application. And now I think the question was originally that whether now it looks better or worse. I think it looks much better because I don't have to deal on the different different types of methods which we use in IPM. Apart from the cultural method, the biological method, this and that. But in the field of biological methods, there have been tremendous improvement. Say 20, 30 years ago, there was no biopesticides. Today, except neem perhaps, that is a botanical pesticide and not actually microbial pesticide. But today there are, I think, more than 20 microbial pesticides which have been registered by the registration committee under the CIB and RC. So I think the scope of IPM is improved very much. Now more and more biological products are coming into it, and if you see that even worldwide, the growth of biological products or biological pesticides, if I may say, solutions, these are increasing. That's a very good sign. And IPM, because I still believe that most of the biopesticides or botanical pesticides cannot be used as standalone treatment. It needs some support, and that's why in IPM we integrate all kinds of chemical pesticide, biological pesticide, crop rotation, then other cultural methods. So I think the scope is very good, but implementation, yes. And the one problem which we faced years ago, the threshold limit, ETL. Now, ETL is a very tricky thing. And ETL varies, even experts, sometimes for a particular crop, for a particular pest. And that is also region specific. The same ETL will not hold good all over India for the same crop and the same pest. So that is the first critical thing to establish the ETL. So once the ETL has been done, then farmers, I think government has got a huge program. I think there are 8 IPM centers in India, and there are all the states, they are implementing this. And I have seen wherever I have participated personally, that there is tremendous participation and enthusiasm amongst farmers, because not only the control becomes durable, but also the farmer saves money. Because indiscriminate use of pesticides, which is often done, thanks to some of the pesticide dealers, what they recommend, this is not at all required when you are following IPM. And the farmers, once they are trained in IPM, normally they stick to it. So I think the scope of implementing IPM, government has to take also, I think, more interest and efforts. And it should not be just followed like a program. We have to do it passionately, and we have to do it also very sincerely. And industry and government cooperation is extremely important, because IPM will not only give a stable solution of the pest problems, but also it will have better economy for the farmers and less money. If I am, okay, fine, thank you.
So, sir, I have another question to you. I'll come to the GDP. Why, we are so much worried. I have another question for you regarding the new molecules in agrochemicals. How to sort out, as because that we definitely need new molecules, but R&D is not. It's going on. Definitely, R&D is going on, but it's pretty costly, and that's not wide also. Some big organizations are putting money in R&D, but definitely it will take time to get new molecules. So what is the way out, sir?
Say, question to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. First of all, let me, there is may not be a lot of, but some confusion about the definition of new molecule. Now, according to the registration committee, the definition of new molecule is any pesticide or agrochemical which has been registered not more than 5 years ago in any country, anywhere. Yeah. And to that, the registration committee has added that any agrochemical which has been invented in India but not registered maybe due to some reason or other, there the 5-year restriction will not apply. So that is new molecule, any molecule which is less than 5 years old, or any molecule which has been actually invented in India. So this is new molecules. Now there has been a lot of discussion with the registration committee, CIB and RC, that the new molecule should get preference in registration. That means they should be given in less than 1 year, maybe in 6 months or so. That I think the entire industry agrees. And coming to the R&D efforts of the Indian industry and the government. Now there are, in the government side, the IICT Hyderabad, they have been doing a lot of work on the R&D work on new molecules, not new molecules, off-patent molecules, but the process and all that they're doing. IRI has been also doing a lot of work. And industry, R&D work is picking up very fast, I would say. First of all, one is invention, R&D, and one is innovation. Now, invention of a new molecule is extremely difficult because it needs a lot of nurturing, even after the molecule has been synthesized. Because I have seen from the ring side, when I was 31 years in a multinational company, which is quite, famous for bringing up new molecules. So that is extremely difficult. But there are, I know at least 2-3 organizations in India who have been already started working on new molecules, and I think 2 companies that are going to bring new molecules within a year. CS number has been already allotted, and these are maybe hitting the market in next year. Yeah, they're absolutely new molecules. They're researched in India and they will be developed in India. So R&D, I think it is positively, it is coming up. And secondly, apart from the new molecules, the off-patent molecules, that means a product which has been just off-patent within maybe 1 year. Let us take pyroxasulfone, yeah, or benzimidazole. No, sorry, benzendamide. So these chemicals which have been off-patent within 1 year or 2 years, or those who are going to be off-patent within 1 or 2 years, I think industry is showing a lot of interest. Government is showing also a lot of interest. I think there is a great scope for bringing these chemicals to India. Of course, we have to do a lot of work on the bioefficacy side, because these have been proved in many other countries, but not in India. So chemical maybe has been proved its efficacy, but our crops, our climatic condition, agroclimatic conditions, we have to taste those products and they have to be introduced. So I think the prospects are very good that new products will come, either absolutely new absolutely new products, or off-patent products which have never been used in India. Thank you.
Many thanks, sir. I'll just take 10 seconds regarding the GDP. I talked about the nominal GDP, not the GVA. That's number one. And that is why to why only. And secondly, why we are talking about the growth in GDP in agriculture is because you will agree 50% of the Indians are directly or indirectly depending on agriculture, and they are in the rural India. So rural India is really banking or depending on agriculture. So even government is serious to, on this issue. Anyway, I'll come to Amit. Now, because, Amit, he has come from the field, he has a lot of experience working in the field. He knows the farmers, got experience. So tell me one thing, what will be the communication strategy for the IPM when we go to the field? We didn't go to the field yet, although IPM is an old subject, right? So we have to go to the field. So what will be the communication strategy? How to communicate to the farmers?
The farmer communication.
Yes.
So first, the IPM already been explained very well.
Majumdar sir.
And yes. And IPM is not, you can say, the new thing which the people don't know, even though the farmers know also. The IPM, the main purpose, especially for the IPM, is that how we can. It's not mean. Sometimes is a misunderstood that IPM means complete elimination of the chemical fertilizers or chemical pesticides. It's not mean. It's a how to judicious use of this pesticide, fertilizer and combo of the biological, cultural practice and old natural ways. So now come to the answer of the question, the communication farmer. This is the most important point, that how we can, you can say, communicate to the farmer of the right usages, as today is the soil day or also. And is rightly told the earlier panelist and the people that soil is the most important and everything is coming from the soil. So here, one point also I want to add before starting the answer of my question, that earlier panelist also told our traders, especially the distributor and retailers, who are the Bhish Pitama of the or the doctors of to communicate to the farmer. But one thing is very important: the companies and the government both cannot reach to the 100% to the farmers. So normally connector to the farmer, real connector are the distributor dealer also. So before going to the farmer or parallel going to the farmer, we also need to educate our distributor retailer also to give a right communication to the farmer. So as a Bharat Certis, or you can say as a marketing man, we always give a maximum communication to dealer or distributor to give a right message that you are the, you can say, the communicator, or you are the making a bridge between the inventor, the companies, or the you can say the farmers. So the right communication means the right use, right doses, right positioning, and the you are talking very rightly the ETL, and it's very right. The ETL also is a two ways. One is suggested or set by the universities and expert. Another, you know, that as a marketeer, as a field man, I can say is another ETL is invented by the farmers. I just want to give one example. Any ETL, for example, if you take a white fly, you say the 2 white fly per leaf is a ETL. Just example, farmers say no, this is not ETL. This is okay. I will not go any kind of a spray, either biological, any natural way or chemical, once it reach to the 10. So the farmer ETL is a 10. So this also be a two kind of, even though sometimes the farmers say, I want to go a preventive spray of for the BPH. So BPH ETL is, as per my understanding, 10 to 15 BPH per hill, but farmer ETL is a 50. Before 50 he will not go. But one good part, this is another good part is that company has started and the government institution has started very good way to train the farmers or the distributor dealer also. So these things also improved very significantly. Now you see that farmers are using the preventive fungicide, insecticide, even though the biologicals. We Bharat Certis also, we have one product, is a brand Delphin, a Bacillus thuringiensis, and we are promoting in a very good way, and farmers are using that, and farmers know where this natural ways or the biological, where they should use it before using the chemicals. So those kind of the communication, if we will give, is our responsibility, government responsibility, especially I want to say companies responsibility, or the association like Crop Care, ACFI, or all the prestigious association responsibility, how we can increase those communication to dealer distributors and the farmers for right uses of the you can say the biological or the chemical. Again I want to repeat, the most important is the doses. Sometimes dealer distributors say, and one very, I love that point which earlier panelists say, they normally the dealer or distributor, they recommend the cocktails, and it's happening. They mix. If you see, we communicate, no, this is the fungicide or is a miticide, it should go alone. But dealer distributors say, no, this is a miticide. Even farmer is not telling him that I am facing any nutrition deficiency. He say, no, he is just calculating which product is having the profit more, and he want to also achieve the target which the company has given to send you the Europe. It's a bitter truth. So he recommend that unnecessary lots of products and making the 4 or 5 products cocktail. And sometime, even though this trader or distributor, they don't know the real compatibility of those products, whether this natural product he is recommending with the chemical, it's giving an adverse effect, the efficacy of both. So those kind of the communication and correction, we also need to give to the farmer. Another, the last my point, which already, which I think earlier also say, this is a pseudo or fake. So one is a real fake, is a fake. Another is a, you can say, in the name of the biological, the fake pesticide. And here I want to just give a notice, as both the Majumdar ji and Goswami ji, they both are very learned, and the university top officials also sitting. I want to highlight some of the, in biological insecticide or fungicide the people are selling. It's a mix of insecticide and fungicide. Some of the AI is even not registered in India. And when product is coming, maybe after 2-3 years, companies is spending crores of rupees to bring this molecule, is already developed the resistance in India. So those kind of the very well communication to the farmer, this is a real fake, this kind of, even though last, I think ACFI or this things has pointed out how we can bring those companies and highlight to the farmers, those are the company, are the genuine company, are providing those kind of things. So this is the my submission.
I have another question, but if I get time, I'll come back to you. Okay. Now, we have another chemical person here. Vivek is here. Vivek Mittalji. He is not there. He hasn't come. Vivek. So now I can move to the, people engaged in biologicals, right? Abhijit ji is here, right? Abhijit ji is here. See, Abhijit ji, my question would be, you are a scientist, right? You are a scientist, yeah?
From CROs. My
Okay,
entire
okay.
Background is actually from 20 years from the CROs as well. Lab
Okay,
as well.
that's very good. My question will be a bit different for you. See, as we are talking about, organic farming, natural farming, then biostimulant has taken, space, and then we are talking about biopesticide, right? So, what do you think? What will be the future of biostimulants? Speaking of, everywhere we are talking about biostimulant. I know it's a tough question. It's a very, very, very tough question. And I have another question. You can club both. What challenges must be addressed to scale responsibility adoption in biologicals? What should be the steps, basically? Right? You can club both.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because here all industries start here. Manufacturers and expert of biologicals and chemicals. First, I need to be actually say that actually we are not here to replace chemical to biology. First of all, because we need to be balanced. Okay, these biologicals and microbial products as well with the chemicals as well. Because due to some mode of actions of the biological, it enhancing and complement means to the agricultures as well. And more or less, it gives a kind of a combination of biologicals and traditional crop protections. It will make a integrated agriculture sustainability, we have to say. So in biologicals, we'll chiefly cover biostimulant, biofertilizers, and biopesticides as well. So how they help to us? First of all, control the resistance. So one side chemicals, as you say, there is a many of the actually unknown chemicals are AIs are added into the actually products. So further on, resistance will be formed. So biologicals will control that resistance, and long-term effect will be received to the farmers. There is the first one, and second one I'll be found over here that load of chemicals means wherever actually chemical uses are there, so it will be reduced the actually uses of chemicals. Okay, then we'll go for the next one. Due to the certain, the biochemicals or might be chemicals, it will increase the soil intake capacity, nutritional intake capacity, soil health as well. So due to that, the fertility of soil is actually going to increase due to biologicals uses only. And last one, because number of chemicals are introduced day by day, uses of actually chemicals, pesticides are using in general practices. So strictly the regulatory authorities are restricting on that residues. So while using that biologicals or microbial products, there is a compliance to the farmers as well. Absolutely. this is the kind of actually a beneficial things for the farmers as well as industries. So in future, there is no war between chemical versus biological. It's a kind of a integrated practices of using the biological with the certain, the growth stages. Like already Saul is saying that we have to choose the preventive stages wherever actually we have to use the biologicals with the right combination of chemicals as well. This is the benefits of this.
Many thanks. Good that you didn't enter in the debate. So you are talking about symbiotic, like surviving. That's a good thing. I'll come to Mr. Sheth, right? Let me tell you that last 3 days, including today, we are having a lot of discussions with top level officials on seaweed, right? And today morning also I have got a mail from FMO and they are ready to discuss. You might be knowing that Prime Minister is, he talked about seaweed, how to promote seaweed and how it helps and all these things, I'd like to know from you. Even in my garden, I use seaweed-based, agri-inputs. It's really working. It's really good. So, how does it help? How does it help for resilience for the soil? This is number one. And how does it help for the, plant growth? If you can explain to the people.
Very good afternoon to all the delegates and my fellow colleagues. So we've been in seaweed cultivation and processing for more than 15 years now. And I think starting with, there was a misunderstanding that only the products coming from abroad work, which were mostly based out of brown seaweed, Ascophyllum nodosum or giant kelp, or so there was little work done on tropical algae, which is native to India. And now, 15 years later, I think we have adequate science-backed products developed with institutes of like CSMCRI, CMFRI, where there's actual research to understand why the product works. And that's the question you asked. So I think the foremost thing is seaweed-based products are biostimulants and not fertilizers. They play two major roles. One is improving nutrient use efficiency, as also told by my colleague. And the second is help plant combat stress conditions, which is becoming the reality of today. Seaweeds play a specific role in helping plants combat abiotic stress. And that is, the reason for that is the constituents which are present in the products such as glycine, betaine, the plant growth promoting substances. We could go further into the detail and gene level, but this is not the right forum. But there's adequate science to explain why these products are working. And I think one reason why they've not become part of mainstream agriculture is also the high price. I think that is getting corrected with more competition, which is coming both from indigenously developed products and more imports. So those two things will automatically lead to a higher level of adoption and understanding by the farmer. And the opportunity to grow for this segment is very, very huge in my view, because I think the entire category penetration is about 5% of area under agriculture currently. So 90% of the playing field is still open, and it's just up to us, along with the industry, to educate and make the farmer adopt these solutions.
So a small question, how to organize this segment. I understand through my experience, it's yet to be organized, right? And how to bring quality.
So I think it's been in process since February 21 when the biostimulant regulation came about. I think it's still very flawed, what has been published, but it's an effort towards bringing order to something and at least preventing the farmer by having some standard is better than no standard. So it's a step towards that. It's being developed. Unfortunately, right now, the standards that have been published are only looking at the polysaccharide content if I look at seaweeds, and that has a limited role in agriculture, and it's more of the hydrocolloid which is used for other uses. But I would still welcome the government's effort towards standardizing this segment and trying to, but it should have happened with maybe a beta version, a testing and release rather than just being released. A random stop hit us all on 16th June. So it's been in turmoil, but I think no change and nothing new happens without a little bit of a storm. So we've ridden the storm, it's still going on, and we will come out of it with something better. The question raised to me by a farmer was also, हम field पे कैसे test करें कि ये असली है कि नकली है? And I have no answer to that. There is no system for that where a farmer can test at the field level. How does he distinguish genuine and spurious? And it is maybe a 60-40 industry. 60 would be spurious, laced chemicals sold as biostimulants versus a 40% genuine. So it's a genuine concern which over time we have to put our heads together to fight. Thank you.
Many thanks. Anyway, 16th of June is history now, right? Okay. So the order is in our favor. Many thanks. Yeah.
Because yeah, I tested near about 200 plus seaweed products, and really there is actually, we need to be actually aware, not for the industries as well as we need to be actually intimate to our government of India also. Right away, they have to actually provide the guideline to test the active content in seaweed. As you said that polysaccharides, other than polysaccharides like alginic acid, fuchsidine and many other, which is playing a role as a biostimulant. And testing of that particular actives method, right methodology need to be provided to the industries as well as government of India. Because sometimes we'll be received misguidance from them. As I am scientist, मेरा खून गर्म होता है. ये क्या चल रहा है यार? There is no feasibility with the laboratory. How come we will actually provide the solutions to farmer?
Agree. Absolutely agree. Many thanks. Hope that you'll get a good news very soon on the GST classifications. That's the impression I'm getting from the top level. So that will be good for the seaweed industry. Now, people say that charity begins at home. Although Devabrata is from my native place, but he will be the last speaker. Why? Let me. I think 2 years back when I heard his, he spoke on microalgae, I was really impressed. I didn't know really. Let me tell you, I didn't know so much about that. So I'd come to you, Devabrata, that how it helps for sustainable agriculture, right? We need to think in a different way now. So new things are coming. So algae has come and it's been used, I know that, but it needs much more promotion among the farming community, even in the government also. So I'll come to you now. Please.
Thank you, Kalyan. So, thank you R.Comm for creating this platform. So I am not from the chemical space per se right now, but I lived with chemicals, then agrochemicals, then seeds, and finally landed up in biologicals. So I'll start with my chemical story. So do you know, at some point of time, it was an USP for a company called Monsanto, that glyphosate is safer than table salt and vitamin A. So, and it's true. Logically, it's true. We can have number of discussion, but that's the truth in terms of mammalian toxicity levels. But the context here is everything needs a balance. Anything in excess is not good. So whether it's a chemical or whether it's a biological, I think anything excess will land up in places like Sri Lanka, or when you use excess chemicals, you landed it somewhere else. Maybe some of the toxicity that we see and come across in some of the African countries. So balance would be the key, and I can tell you that on behalf of the biological space, because I always believe that biologicals has a huge scope to balance this out. And whether it's a seaweed or I call it macroalgae, because I love the term algae for last 7 years. So because I promote microalgae and the miniest one, but yet very powerful one. And the biologicals or the microbials or any other substance, the metabolites, these are the balancing factor that we need to introduce more and more along with side-by-side chemicals and other stuff. Microalgae has got a huge potential. You'll be surprised to know that every year microalgae captures 200 gigaton of carbon dioxide from the world. And that's a fact, written fact. And they are also responsible for 50% of global oxygen. They were the first in the in the part of the food chain, and they are doing it for billions of years. So yeah, that has not been spoken a lot. That's why Kalyan told that I didn't know about it. So it's time for us and to all of us to not only talk about microalgae, to talk about all the elements. So whether it's a macroalgae, whether it's a microalgae, whether it's a microbial, we need to talk it more. And probably it has to go out of the room and to get into the people's mind who matters most. We talk about ourselves as agriculture country, but we talk a lot in the AC rooms and in this platform like this, and then we forget. Once we go out, we have a smoke, and then we forget. So I think it's time to wake up. This is a wake-up call for all of us, because there are only 60 years of farming left, and there is no planet B for us. Thank you.
Many thanks. I expected more out of you. Although we don't have time, so that's it. We really don't have. She was looking at me. She was looking at me. At least 2 minutes more.
No, so at end of the day, let me tell you, I am a commercial man. So I always looked at the P&L. So you have given me a time, I try to save something else in the EBITDA level. But the reason is, so I don't know if I should talk about microalgae more, because if I get 60 seconds, 120 seconds more, I would love to talk about microalgae not alone. I wanted to talk about soil, because I think that's the most important part of our life and everybody's life for that matter. So whether we are part of the agriculture ecosystem or not, I think we all are part of agriculture. So that culture we need to understand, because without agriculture, without soil, we are not going to have food. And if there is no food, there is no you and me and talking about all whatever we are talking here. So I think it's time to really talk about soil more and more and more, because some point of time people will get to realize why everybody is crying about soil, because there are a lot of hue and cry goes across, and you'll be surprised to know we are talking about climate change, and the fundamentally they have decided, or the most scientific brain has found that there are 25 ways to combat climate change. And you'll be surprised to know out of that 12 ways to combat climate change relates to soil, healthy soil. So how important, so they can combat climate change. Unhealthy soil actually releases carbon dioxide, but a healthy soil can actually capture carbon dioxide. So I think it is for the benefit of all of us, whether we are part of the agriculture ecosystem or not. I think it's time to wake up and need to agree for this culture more and more. That will save each one of our own life and also for the future generation, because I think future belongs to us, provided we ensure it belongs to us. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. So, our time is over, right? Okay.
I forgot to
Max
actually.
5.
I forgot
One
to actually.
minute. 1 minute for each. Okay, 1 minute for each. So it's something different. Just 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds, right? So what is the takeaway? Or you can put it like that. What is our responsibility towards sustainable agriculture? 1 minute. In very nutshell, please start from your side only. Yes. You have that, right? Yeah. What is the takeaway of this discussion? And what is our responsibility towards sustainable agriculture? Yeah, you can take this.
Hello. Yeah, it's fine. So using of actually chemicals and biologicals with the right way which actually create a balance of agriculture sustainability. This is the main keyword. And for our responsibility, which is nothing but we are playing with the challenges. First of all, as for the circus, awareness is required. Soil is the playing major role, but we have to actually educate the farmer how microbial with impact of soil, impact of environment. These things are influence on our microbial. So we have to actually make aware of farmers how to use it.
Thank
Where
you.
to
Thank
use
you.
it. First one.
No, I think 1 minute only. So,
So I think the key takeaway is what you said. It's not about the integrated nutrient management or pest management. Has to be made real, not spoken about in rooms. It has to be demonstrated. You asked a very vital question on communication strategy, which Amit sir spoke about. I think that needs thought. It needs collaboration between government, private, farmer, dealers, and all of us together. Even the Department of Agriculture, where the responsibility resides, but it's very hard to leave it only on them. So a combination of coming together and to get it implemented is the takeaway.
so you mean that you have given the responsibility to everyone, but didn't take responsibility on you, right? Industry. So that's good. So Amit ji.
So I'm back to the same point, this communication. So we take as a Bharat Certificates or as an industry, take a responsibility on the right communication to the farmers. So how we can communicate, and with this communication as a moral responsibility, how we can develop a good formulation, which the low AI loading and the safer formulation. Another that how we can work more for biological and natural ways, a balanced act of all the ways to improve the productivity of the farmers. So this is the you can say task we want to take.
Thanks a lot. Dr. Majumdar sir.
Thank you. I think I agree with all the previous speakers have said. Today, without sustainable agriculture, we cannot survive. And talking about soil, the regenerative agriculture, which takes care of soil more than the sustainable agriculture is a part of it. Regenerative agriculture, soil, that's the most important thing. And I think industry in their training programs for the farmers and all that should explain that you don't, for instance, GAP, good agricultural practice, always says you have to apply a lot of organic matter, whether it is from a manure, farmyard manure or compost or whatever it is, to keep your organic carbon level and pH, the status of this thing, your or this water sustainability and all these things. I mean, this which a lot of people ignore. They're not using organic manures, which is very important along with. And industry's responsibility, I think, that not to look only for the sale of their chemical pesticides, but if there is no agriculture remains sustainable, then I mean there will be no sale of anything. So I think it is responsibility of the industry that we should do it.
Devabrata, 1 minute.
I'll use 30 seconds. So so I will start with a story with anybody, somebody, and nobody. So the responsibility lies on somebody. Anybody can do it, and then somebody will surely do it, and nobody does it. So I think the responsibility lies on you. See, if you do not find one, so be the one to start the change. I think that would be my takeaway from it.
So many thanks as such. Arbi sir, can we meet in the lunch and then I can give answer to your questions? It will take time. It will really take time, and I'll talk to you in the lunch hour. Sure, sir. Okay. Sure.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kalyan Goswami ji. It's done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we have a big round of applause, everyone? Thank you very much. And
just to give a clarification, sir, as such, I'll just take 3 minutes, beta.
Sure.
ठीक है ना जी? हाँ. So, sir, to give a clarification, I'll talk to you separately, but to the audience, I don't go by the word spurious. Let me tell you why. The spurious word is more used in dairy, in sweet, in chocolate, that type of industry, right? We use more like counterfeit and misbranded, right? if you typically look, as because my PhD is on like counterfeit only, so let me share with you. In every segment, counterfeit misbranded is there. Every segment. You might have heard few days back there's a big halla gulla that in Flipkart and Amazon almost 60% like products are counterfeit or misbranded, right? If you go to ITC website, they say that 37% of the cigarettes are misbranded and counterfeit. In wine, the costliest wine are mostly, like counterfeit in this country. In tire, you please read, or I can share my publication also with you. In tire, even you purchase from MRF or purchase from C8 or purchase, you get counterfeit. You will say they are giving GST bill. How is that counterfeit? The GST bill itself is fake, right? This is India, right? Van Hussein, Peter England. You purchase from the showroom and you get fake. You are happy that you have got a GST bill, right? They have put GST on that, but still it's a fake. So our segment is nothing different on that, but we are not using spurious. And I really don't know how much is counterfeit in our segment, right? But in pharmaceutical, as because mainly I have spent much time in pharmaceutical, it is not less than 35% counterfeit, right? But till 2002, they started doing halla gulla. Then they realized if we speak so much about counterfeit, even the doctors will think, even Ranbaxy, Sun Pharma, Cipla, Zydus, they are all selling counterfeit only. So they have stopped talking. They have started selling their product. Same, I have some experience in field. The farmers, they really know. They are really learned. They know what is counterfeit, what is misbranded, and what is real. I did experiment. They could tell me, seeing, they don't have HPLC, MPLC or GC. वो देख के बोल देते हैं भाई ये तो 2 नंबर ही है, ठीक है ना जी? They know, but still they use. वो बोलते हैं पैसा आधा है, काम तो देखो कर ही लेता है, ठीक है ना जी? They use. So we need to make them aware. We are doing it through my association. So the rest of the things I'll talk to you. Thanks a lot to everyone. I think we should stand up, right?
Yeah, thank you very much. Now I request Dr. Kalyan Goswami to please kindly felicitate our other panelists. Mr. Debabrata Sarkarji, sir, please come forward. Can we have a big round of applause, everyone? Thank you very much. Dr. J.C. Majumdarji. Dr. Abhijit Pujari ji. Mr. Tanmay Seth ji, so please come forward. Mr. Amit Kumar Singh. And with that, now I request Mr. Amit Khare to please kindly come and felicitate our moderator, Dr. Kalyan Goswami ji. It was such a great, insightful session, and we really learnt a lot and touches every aspect. Now I request every panelist to please kindly come forward for a group photo. Thank you, everyone.